Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League Remix, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Diggersby. Diggersby running Quick Attack from team number 3, from my top 5 best teams for the Great League Remix. Diggersby, I think, is a little slept on in this meta. It has a place for sure. Diggersby can never ever be counted out, especially when it can run Quick Attack, updated Quick Attack from last season. Diggersby is going to be on the lead on team number 3, and also on this team, we've got, almost said Marini, holy smokes, Toxapex. Toxapex on the safe swap from team number 3 is here to draw out any potential steel types so that Galvantula does not have to see them. Galvantula is going to be serving as the closer on team number 3. Galvantula, quite powerful. Another one that I think is kind of slept on a little bit, although I have been seeing them pop up here and there. It is very powerful, especially with all the newly updated flyers that we are seeing now. Galvantula handles them all beautifully, especially Pelipper. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun. And here we go, Galvantula lead. This is a very good lead for us, especially because we are running Fire Punch here. We are double resisting this fast move pressure, which is why it's such a dominant matchup for Diggersby. They can go for lunge all they want. It's not gonna help them whatsoever. They will likely have to swap out of this, and they do into a Machamp, so we aggressively swap to meet this Machamp with our Toxapex. They can throw Rock Slide, that's fine. We are about as tanky as it gets. We tank that all day, no problem, even from a Shadow Machamp. And we are going to look to get rid of it with a Brine. Shadow Machamp, quite squishy in the Great League. This will definitely take it out, and they let it go. That is amazing. Toxapex, flip and switch. You love to see it. And we're going to go for another Brine. We kind of just want to get rid of this Galvantula. It can be quite annoying, and we do. They let that go, putting the hope and faith into a Jumpluff. This is just about lights out. Holy smokes. I feel terrible for this nice, shiny Jumpluff. It does not have a prayer against the remainder of this team. Going to throw Galvantula in here to try and grab some of these shields. Going to go for the neutral lunge. Does hit for neutral damage as it is part grass. And they should probably shield, but they let that go. And they wave the white flag. Yeah, it was an uphill battle either way, but good game, well played to our opponent. Team number 3 from my top 5 best teams for the Great League Remix was quite fun and quite effective. And here we go, Emolga. This one's very interesting. They swap into a Shadow Victory Bell, so we come in with our Toxapex, and these poison jabs are absolutely shredding as Shadow Vic is quite squishy. Gotta shield this. We want to flip switch. Not really sure what to do with that Emolga at this point. I'm thinking Diggersby is our best answer. We can definitely hit that thing with the fire punches, and we can take out the Victory Bell. Fully expecting that Emolga to come back in, but was not fully expecting them to throw immediately. Should have definitely thrown the Brine, and hindsight, they do take us out. We come back in with our Diggersby and gonna look to get off a Fire Punch here. To be completely honest, I wasn't sure how much damage this thing could take. It appears to be little bit bulky, not terribly bulky, but they aggro swap into a Frostlass, and we are loaded, going for Fire Punch number 1. And they do shield. Gonna go for Fire Punch number 2. They can definitely tank this. It does hurt, but they tank it pretty comfortably. And they shield again. So we are thinking, we're calculating. I seriously considered shielding this, but decided not to. Decided to put the hope and faith in Galvantula up a shield. And gonna look to get off this discharge. Obviously, lunge would be resisted. It's not worth it to try and get off that debuff. You just go for that big damage. It does not KO. Frostlass does survive. but they are throwing. So this is going to hit us. I'm thinking this is going to hit us the hardest. So we do shield this. And they come back in with the Emolga. I'm thinking we're looking pretty good here. This thing is just about done. And that discharge did a lot more damage than I expected. Holy smokes, I was not expecting resisted damage to do that much. And holy smokes, that's resisted! My goodness, that does so much damage. And yeah, we zigged when we should have zagged. Yeah, that's over. We fall to one. Powder Snow. That one quite didn't work out, but good game. Well played to our opponent. I guess we underestimated the power of Emolga a little bit in that last one, but we press on here. A Galvantula lead, as we saw in the first battle. This is a very solid lead for us. Gonna go for the Fire Punch here. They can definitely tank this. It's not a fun time for the Galvantula, but they tank it nonetheless, and we absolutely tank whatever they can throw. They bail into a Pelipper. This is why we've got Galvantula on this team. We will have to shield one of these Weather Balls. We're going to look to farm this thing all the way down. Oh my goodness, these bull switches are absolutely chunking, and we will tank the second Weather Ball here. They are up a shield, but we are loaded on energy. Gonna look to get off our lunge on whatever comes back in. They're thinking long and hard, waiting their timer, and we lose CMP tie. That is unfortunate, and we are not willing to give them a 2-shield advantage, so we do let that go. And gonna come back in with Diggersby and farm this thing all the way down. We tank this all day, no problem, and we are gonna look to absolutely load up on energy. And we do farm down. We don't know what they have in the back. It's a Steelix. This is where Diggersby absolutely shines. We are debuffed, but we're going to put the pressure on them with an EQ. And they shield. That's amazing. So now the play here is to bank this energy to clear the debuff after they throw this. Gonna tank this. We're one off from an EQ. We want to bank an EQ, so we throw one and swap into our Toxapex. And now the play is to just do as much damage, maybe grab a shield, but do as much damage as we can. We are absolutely loaded, and they have revealed Psychic Fangs thus far. They are at EQ energy, and they do have EQ. Holy smokes, but we tank that like a champ, and we hang on long enough to get to another brine. My goodness, Toxapex can be quite clutch at times, and they let that go. They're saving that shield. They know that we are absolutely loaded. So now, because they are hanging on to that shield for dear life, we just go back-to-back Fire Punch. We're very close to the back-to-back. We tank this. We are debuffed, but we are also tanky. Got to go for Fire Punch number 1. This will undoubtedly get the shield, and it does. And we are one off from Fire Punch number 2, which will absolutely seal the deal against this Steelix. And we're saying bye-bye to the Steelix. Diggersby, I'm telling you, is quite strong in this meta. And as you can see, we did quite well with this team in these bonus battles. Good game, well played to our opponent. I had a lot of fun with those bonus battles as we move into the featured set of the video. We are picking up a solid lead in the form of Unova Stunfisk. Even though we are running Quick Attack, it's still a very, very solid matchup for Diggersby on the lead. They're going to go Mud Bomb here. We tank that all day. They need a bazillion Mud Bombs to have any hopes of KOing Diggersby, but they aggro swap into a Ferrothorn here, and this thing is bad news. Kind of core breaks the entire team, so we kind of have to stay right here, guys. And we will shield up this Power Whip. They did tank our first Fire Punch. They do tank that pretty well, and we're going for Fire Punch number 2. The question is, are they going to start giving up those shields? And it looks like they are. They are shielding the Fire Punch there. Going to go for Fire Punch number 3 and really put the pressure on this Ferrothorn and see what they want to do. They go down 2 shields to try and take out our Diggersby. We're not letting that happen. Like I said, guys, this thing is bad news for the entire team, and Diggersby happens to be our best answer to it. So we are going to play out this 2 shield. We are now down on shields, and we are saying bye-bye to the Ferrothorn. That's one major obstacle out of the way. The question is, what else do they have? Do they come back in with the Stunfisk? No, they've got a Noctowl. So we aggro swap into Toxapex to draw back out that Ufisk. That was a trap, and they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. This thing is an awful matchup for our Toxapex. It's kind of just sacrificing Toxapex, but my goodness, it can hold its own, guys. We get off that brine, and I do believe we live another one of their moves pretty easily, long enough to get off another brine, I believe. That's just how powerful and how tanky Toxapex is, hanging in here with a nightmare matchup. Holy smokes. Toxapex can be quite clutch at times, and that does not KO. I was quite surprised to see. But they're throwing their energy. This is amazing because it allows us to get ahead on energy. And we're going to do that with our Galvantula, obviously. With a flyer left on the team, getting ahead of energy is quite nice. They had some residual energy as well. But one Sky Attack does not KO our Galvantula. Going for the discharge here. Noctowl quite tanky as well as Diggersby, and that does not KO. But Diggersby, speaking of, was very close to a Fire Punch. This Noctowl is quite low. As tanky as it is, it's definitely going to KO. We're saying bye-bye to the Noctowl. Diggersby coming in super clutch. Closing the game in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Team number 3 from my top 5 best teams for the Great League Remix was really putting in the work, especially when you get leads like this. They had a Ufisk. They make a play into Vigoroth. We meet this Vigoroth with our Toxapex. And the reason why is because Toxapex is bulky enough to withstand that patented body slam spam, but we will shield a potential bulldoze. They usually go right for it, but they baited us. Oh, that is unfortunate, but that's fine. This is just a body slam. We tank that all day and just going to look to overload a little bit on energy, get it within sludge wave range. I was estimating that this would just about KO, and it does. Flipping switch with Toxapex at the expense of one of our shields, but we will press on. They come back in as expected with the Unova Stunfisk. Gonna go for the brine, of course. It does a decent amount. Toxapex doesn't hit particularly hard, but my goodness, is it bulky, guys. So bulky that we do live this super effective discharge long enough to get to a brine, and this will not KO, but it will be getting the Ufisk quite low. Low enough to where we can farm down with our Diggersby, which is exactly what we intend to do here. They're not going to stick around for that. They aggro swap back into the Noctowl, and now it's Galvantula time. We are down a shield. Gonna call this. They are at Shadow Ball, and they go right for the Shadow Ball. Holy smokes. I was not expecting that, but you know what? I bet they're expecting us to lunge. Some people would bait, but we're not baiting, and we're nearly one-shotting the Noctowl. Oh, sometimes it pays to not bait, my friends. They were probably expecting a cheeky lunge bait, and like I said, sometimes it pays to not bait. Good game, well played to them. Galvantula putting in the work in that last one, closing the game strong. It was amazing, and here we go. Hakumo O. Very interesting to see this thing here. I'm thinking we can do pretty well here. Of course, they can hit us with the Brick Breaks, but Brick Break is a terrible move. Although super effective, gonna let this go. We definitely survived that, no problem, and gonna go for an EQ. Again, a lot of Diggersby trainers like to bait, guys. They might be thinking we're baiting, but we're not. Yet again, we're doing big damage on the Hakumo O. I did want to swap out at some point, but we kind of just got caught up in the flow of this opening matchup, so just going to stay in here and take it out with a Fire Punch and win lead. Hopefully, if they shield, that's fine. They can shield, but no, they do let it go. They've got a Mandibuzz, so we swap into Toxapex. Guys, even if you win lead, you still want to swap to draw out a potential hard counter in the back. It wasn't particularly a hard counter. They were double weak to a Galvantula in the back. This is looking amazing. We are still down a shield. And speaking of shields, we don't have to shield a thing from this Dugong. Gonna go for the Sludge Wave, has been debuffed, but it still does a decent amount of damage. And just gonna overload by quite a bit. We really want to have some energy to threaten that Mandibuzz. It is still up a shield. Got a little bit of a lag spike there, but we do not intend to shield a thing from this Dugong. We are capped on energy, but wanted to throw with optimal timing here. Gonna go for the Sludge Wave, and it barely... Oh, it did KO. That's good. So now we're going to come in with our Diggersby to chip away at the Mandibuzz. A lot of Mandibuzzes love to overload on energy, and that is what I anticipated this trainer to do. We really just wanted to swap out of that with our Toxapex to clear those debuffs. And they do take us out. So now they are loaded on energy. We don't want to come in with our Galvantula down a shield and add an energy disadvantage. So going to throw Toxapex in here to hopefully coax them into releasing some of that stored energy that they have. They go for the foul play, and now we are going to fire back with a Sludge Wave. And they don't have to shield this, but they do. And now it's Galvantula time. They're still loaded, but we did even up the shielding scenario, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And we definitely tank a foul play. Mandibuzz does not hit particularly hard, but we do. And we're going for this discharge here and the shield that would have been lights out for them. And I know this Mandibuzz is absolutely loaded. Gonna let this go. I'm thinking there's no way they're farming us down. We just need 2 volt switches, and we just barely make it. Holy smokes. Galvantula coming in super clutch, allowing us to say bye-bye to the Mandibuzz. Team number 3 from my top 5 best teams was really putting in the work. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. I'm telling you guys, if you have access to these 3 Pokemon, you might want to give team number 3 a try. And here we go. Shadow Jumpluff on the lead. Gonna make a play into Toxapex, just in case they have a Steel type lurking in the back. No, they meet us with a Shadow Lugia. Holy smokes. So this is fine. We are quite bulky. We might actually even be bulkier than Lugia in the Great League format. Would you believe that? We tank that Sky Attack, no problem, and gonna look to fire back with a Sludge Wave here. And they definitely tank that, no problem. Even in the Great League, Lugia quite bulky, and we can't quite farm down before they can get to another Sky Attack. So we're gonna go for this Brine here, and they do let it go. That is amazing. The shielding scenario is still even, and they come in with the Jumpluff. That is quite interesting to see, and they throw immediately. So makes me wonder what they may have in the back. That does KO. That's fine. I think we're gonna, come in with Diggersby. We can still hit this thing for super effective damage with our Fire Punch, and we definitely tank whatever they throw at us because we're about as tanky as it gets. But my goodness, that did quite a bit, a lot more than I expected, and they've got a Shadow Machamp lurking in the back. And we've got a solid answer to it in the form of our Bug-type Galvantula here. Gonna call this, was feeling a little bold, a little brave, and my goodness, did that pay off as a Rock Slide. Would have absolutely KO'd. We were feeling a little bold there, calling that as a cross chop, and it definitely paid off. They shielded up our lunge. We take a little bit of the sting off of this resisted fast move pressure, and gonna go for lunge number 2 on the Machamp here, and they do let that go. That is amazing. This Jumpluff still relatively healthy, but we are loaded on Diggersby. Gonna just look to get to back-to-back Fire Punches and seal the deal against this Jumpluff. I don't know if they were keeping track of the energy, but we've got back-to-back, and I think they were because they let that go. Oh, man, team number 3, I'm telling you, was really, really, really racking up the wins. That's going to be a good game. Well played. And I was having so much fun with this Diggersby team, especially when you're getting leads like this. But it's a little trickier now with this Cofagrigus here because we're not running Mudshot. So that means that we're both double resisting each other's fast move pressure. And it does look like they are running Dark Pulse. That's fine. We tank that, no problem. And going to go right for the EQ here and see what they want to do. They could definitely tank this quite comfortably, but they shield. Very interesting to see. When you get an early shield like that, that is it's sort of telling as to what they may have in the back. They might be weak to Diggersby in the back. So we're going to play this very carefully here. We're going to go for yet another Earthquake here. And if they want to go down 2 shields, by all means, but no, they do let that go. And I do believe we shield this because I had a sneaking suspicion that they might have been weak to Diggersby in the back. So we're going to shield this and make a play into Toxapex here. It's just about within the range of a brine, so I felt comfortable giving up switch to see what they had in the back, but they're staying in. Holy smokes, what are they doing with this Cofagrigus here? Gonna go for the brine and put this thing out of its misery here. This should just about KO from here, but no, they shield. What the heck is going on? My goodness, they are putting a lot on this Cofagrigus here, but we do tank a Dark Pulse, and we do get to the brine. Gotta just throw it and get rid of it. We cannot farm down. We want to maintain alignment here. Not sure what they are holding onto in the back, but my goodness, they're down on shields. It was a Tentacruel. Very interesting. So we're actually going to come in with Galvantula here because obviously with the water typing, we can do quite well. And we know that this is just an acid spray. They did not build up to a potential Scald, and we let that go. And oh, they've got a Buzzwole in the back. Holy smokes. That's bad news for our Diggersby, so going to look to get off this big discharge. It doesn't quite KO the Buzzwole, and they're going to have to throw because we were going to make it to another move. And now we no-shield this and going to put the hope and faith into Diggersby, hoping like heck. They went superpower, we saw that, so we're going for the farm down. Can we hang on? We do. We really needed that farm down to get to this Earthquake, and we have it, which means that we are saying bye-bye to the Tentacruel. Holy smokes, that one shot, Diggersby coming in clutch yet again, closing yet another game in dominant fashion, and that is the team, my friends. How about team number 3 for my top 5 best teams? 5-0 with team number 3. You love to see it. Good game, well played to our opponent, and my goodness, I was quite excited for team number 3 when I built it for my top 5 best teams, and it definitely did not disappoint. I was thoroughly impressed with how team 3 performed. All the moving parts complement each other beautifully. Diggersby protects the back 2 Pokemon from the steel types. Yeah, got Toxapex on the safe swap to draw out any potential steel types, clearing the way for Galvantula to sweep. That is how this team is designed, and it was quite powerful. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.